Hey, it's Tara. I want to talk to you about the morbid question that I always ask myself when I really need to reprioritize or come back to myself, come back to what my priorities are, and make sure that what I'm doing on a daily basis supports my bigger vision. And I think that's where a lot of people get lost, is you get caught up in your day-to-day and it's this hamster wheel that you can't really get off of. But at the end of the day, you do all these things that maybe cause stress or intensity in your life, and you're not spending enough time, or you've run out of time to do the things that really matter to you. So the morbid question I always ask myself, and I just got back from a kind of a meditative walk that I do with my dogs and clearing my head, coming back to what's important to me. The morbid question I ask is, I have a checklist of 18 things that need to get done today. They all have equal priority. In that priority sequence, what's really aligned with my long-term goals or even my short-term goals, but the things that really matter to me. And as I go through my task list, they're all tasks, and they all support some of the feedback that I've had recently, which is what a hard worker I am, and that I work too much, that I'm a workaholic. And so it's such negative feedback, although the ego really loves to hear that we're ambitious and that we work hard, that we're determined, we're motivated. But at the end of the day, it's ego for profit. I work hard to provide for my family, but ultimately my goals are that we are able to live the biggest, richest, fullest life available to us, and that we can be healthy and happy in the process. The reasons we're really here on this planet is to connect. We are born with a need to connect to each other. And yet as we get into this type A entrepreneurial hamster wheel that we all can easily fall into, we get task focused, and we're focused on business goals. And so we reach these milestones in our businesses and we reach these levels of success. And somehow the real reason that we're here to connect with others gets thrown off to the wayside, because there's a sense that we have time. We have time to pick that up some other time. When I finish this goal in my business, I'll go back here and pick this up. And so if I died tomorrow and people talked about how hard I worked or my work at all, even though I've done some great work that's been really important and has changed lives, and that's great, but I don't want people to talk about that, because there's so much more to me. Am I living my life in a way that is aligned with how I want people to remember me and the legacy I want to leave? And legacy is such a big word for me. So no, what I want people to remember is that I was a great mom, that I loved people really well or really big, even if I got kicked in the face for it, that I wasn't afraid of emotions, that I laughed a ton. Did I already say that? I do. I laugh a lot. I laugh every single day. And I seek to laugh every day. So I would want that bubbliness and that life and the vibrancy that I feel like I live my life with to be remembered the most. And if I look at my priority checklist of 18 things on this list that need to be done today on a Friday before a long weekend, do any of those things support what I want to be remembered by? And none of them do. So I do need to set some boundaries. I do need to prioritize. I'm really big on setting boundaries around the work that you do to make sure it has meaning. I'm really big around setting boundaries around people and making sure that you are protected from negative people, so that if you're going to go out in the world and be courageous enough to love big, I mean, otherwise, why bother? Love big or go home. Really be selective about who's in your life and make sure that they're worthy of it, and make sure that, you know, that you're prioritizing time with the right people and giving your energy in those ways, but reprioritizing your days so that the things that matter to you as far as how you want people to remember you, the legacy of your death, what do you want that to be? And on a daily basis, are you at least including that in your priority list as far as what you're including in your day, what you're prioritizing as far as your time, energy, and focus? This is really important, because you can live your whole life and have business success and never have personal success, and have people talk about the wrong things and have a legacy be about stuff that doesn't matter. Make your life be around the shit that matters and the people that matter, and stop being drawn into the lure of the ego and the profit and the materialism and the superficiality of the culture that we live in, because that stuff doesn't matter at the end. And so I just want to offer you the opportunity to create some balance in your day-to-day. It's easy to do it big picture. It's a lot harder to focus it back in and do it on a day-to-day, as far as your to-do list must include self-care, loving others, and pieces of the legacy that you want to live as if it were your last day. So that's what people remember you by when you're here and then when you're gone, because those are the only things that matter. So balance the success and the focus that you have for your business life. That's important and that has meaning. My work has meaning to me. I do it because I love it and it matters. And I hope it matters to other people, but it doesn't even hold a candle to how I spend my time with others and how I show up in the lives of others in my personal life. And that needs more attention because that's way more important to me than how hard I worked. And that people would remember that about me makes me really uneasy. So I encourage you to do the same. I'd love to hear how you've made some shifts and what that's done, because when you make these little shifts, there's a ripple effect. It opens space in your life to have more of the abundance in the things that matter in your life, and less stress and less intensity on the work and on the things that don't matter as much at the end of the day. We're here for a short time, relatively speaking. It's super unpredictable. Live each day with intention and don't make it a cliche. Actually think about what that means and carve it out in your day-to-day so that you don't have regrets at the end, and that you have a legacy that you're proud of. So deep thoughts on a Friday, but that's what I got for you. I hope you're well. Until next time.